Welcome to the Mixed In Podcast.
Yay!
Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff for you today.
Yeah. So, on today, what we'll be talking about is shadow people.
Yeah.
Shadow people.
I remember a long time ago, I heard about the shadow people and saw some creepy pictures about that. And speaking of creepy pictures, we also are going to we're going to talk about some creepy pictures that are on the web.
Look at some creepy pictures. They're like creepy pictures. You've probably seen them before. They're called When You See It. What was the name of that website that they're on? The Cracked?
Yeah.
Cracked or something like that. So we're going to look at a few of those. That one's not going to be so much as a listening podcast, but what we will do is every picture we look at, we'll number it and we'll post the picture on our website.
Yeah, so you can actually look at it and for yourself. But we will try our best to describe what we're looking at.
Yeah, if you don't want to look at the pictures, we'll do our best.
And we're also going to do some games. We're going to do some I've Never and some movies that might not suck. And we're going to do the phrases with William. And then later, after that, we're going to talk about maybe man is really from Mars.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
So Chris is going to give me his explanation of why he believes all the scientific facts and whatnot of why it seems like we are from Mars, not from Earth, and blah 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 blah. Whatever. It's all blah 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 blah. But anyways, I'm going to be open about it. I'm going to be
impartial,
impartial, unbiased, unbiased. I'm not going to be biased. Okay, so first things first. Shadow people. So what are shadow people? So let's see here. A shadow person, also known as a shadow figure, shadow being, or black mass, is in the perception of a patch of shadows as a living humanoid figure, particularly as interpreted by believers in the paranormal or supernatural as the presence of a spirit or other entity.
So when people say they see this, they feel like they've seen a ghost, but ghosts look, there's many different styles of seeing the ghost, but you don't mistake seeing a shadow person. It's definitely a dark shadow that seems to have its own mass even. Like that shadow can cast a shadow.
Yeah. So it's not like... and not only that, but this shadow is moving. Like I guess they're mostly known for being sighted in the woods, and when you're standing still and there's this shadow that looks like it's moving, like it's not
right.
You're not moving and it's not from you. So it's moving.
I even saw one that was on the show Ghost Hunters.
Oh really?
Where the guy had what's his name? Steve, the one that he's got the tattoos.
Oh, he got the tattoos. Yeah,
he's the one that can't go flying.
Don't fly, yeah. Oh,
so he had the video camera on his lap, and he was filming the living room at this place, and then he was going to move from this place to another place. And as he stood up, the camera kind of looks down at the floor, and and then he finally reorients it and goes about his business. But as they looked at the footage later on, the moment that he started to stand up is when this shadow person crept up in the middle of the living room. As the camera's pointing down, it's standing up and then becomes out of view because he's getting up and going to another room. But for that moment, it arose right. I mean, it was clear. It wasn't, no other way to describe it except for it is what it looked like.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's made me think, whoa.
Yeah. So, and to be on that topic, actually, there was like one footage I got from watching the Ghost Hunters that I thought was just amazing. On this one, they were I forget where they were at, but one of the two co-hosts of it, I don't know their names. Not the bald guy, but the other one.
Yeah, there's Grant and somebody I can't think.
But anyways, they were walking down, and all of a sudden he felt this something tug on the back of his jacket,
and you can see it.
And you can see it like tugging on his jacket, and he did it a couple of times, and it kept on tugging him, and they're all checking the wires and everything, seeing if he's getting snagged on one of his wires, and nothing.
Yeah.
And you see it in the footage.
And that happened to you when we were at the Manresa Castle. You said that somebody was tugging at your pocket on the way up the stairs.
Yeah, I felt like somebody was going for my pocket, and I'm a big faux person about getting pickpocketed, so I'm always worried and checking my back pocket and whatnot. So that was weird.
Weird,
yeah.
for sure. So So
okay, back to shadow people.
I've got a story here on a website. I think it's called Thought Catalog. And there's a story here called Sacred Blood Cemetery. And so this is so a few years ago. This is the story that they tell. A few years ago, I went on a nighttime walk with a good friend through a cemetery. Its name was Sacred Blood Cemetery, as if that wasn't scary enough already. After a while, we just felt creeped out, but didn't see anything, so we decided to head out. We turned around, and about 30 feet away, there appeared to be a dark outline of something peering at us from behind a tree. Something felt sinister. My heart started pounding, and the air seemed really thin. I tried to dismiss it at first, but as being part of the tree. But as we walked around the tree, it seemed to move with us, like to remain hidden behind the tree. It could have been nothing, but we ran like hell about thinking about the horror stories, and it seemed to resolve around shadow people. So absolutely terrifying was this guy's story. So I was like, I could see that. You're at a cemetery, it's creepy already. The name of the cemetery doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
And when there's certain like street light from a distance, and that's the only light you get, and there's weird shadows. Your mind plays tricks anyways. Mm-hmm. And so what if there was a shadow person there, and the shadow just seemed like it could have been anything, but but at the same time it could have been nothing. But what if it was something and it just doesn't look like much because it's already in the dark? That's just weird. You can't really explain it. It could be your mind playing tricks on you for sure.
Yeah.
But what if it was a shadow person?
A shadow person. Twisted.
Yeah. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. So that's that story. Let's see if I can find another one that's kind of on the shorter side. Oh, here's one. It's called A Friendly Shadow Person. So I haven't
give them like $5 or something like that.
I haven't proofread this one, so hopefully I can do okay. So one night I was visiting my grandma. She lives in the middle of Podunk nowhere. Here in the deep south. So a little backstory. This year her husband died in her room, and the ex-husband also died in the hospital. So I was visiting to keep her company and whatnot. Anyway, we were lying in bed watching the Dead Files on Travel Channel, and Amy Allen is talking about shadow people. My grandma randomly asks, "What's a shadow person?" I give her the best explanation, not thinking much of it. A little while later, she reveals to me that for a period of about 2 weeks, very recently, she had a shadow person visit her every night. It would lay in bed with her and talk to her. She said it never felt scary, just kind and comforting, and everything is going to be okay type entity. She did not sense that it was my grandfather or step-grandfather. Still freaked me out. She says, still freaked the F out. Freaked me the F out. So I slept in bed with her that night in the shadow person's spot. Haha. I wasn't sure what would be worse, sleeping alone or sleeping where a shadow person sleeps. Has anyone heard of something like this? No, I haven't.
I've had zero experience with shadow people. Have you had any experience with shadow people?
No, but my son was just telling us the last time he saw a ghost that there was pretty much a dark figure that was at the foot of the bed when they were trying to turn that light on, or it was turning the light on and off for him. So that's about the closest. It's just a relative, but not me.
When did that happen?
That was when we were staying over at my mom's house one time. Him and the cousins were sleeping in they got a pretty big house, like 5 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And they're sleeping in one of